Hello. Yeah,
Hello, you're able to hear me?
I can hear you. Okay, I think you were on mute. Okay.
Your voice is quite feeble. I could not hear you all of this at 1 minute.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Uh, can you
Uh,
can you hear me now?
I don't know why it's quite feeble. Uh,
Okay, I think 1 minute.
1 minute.
Now can you confirm if it's okay?
Can you speak now?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, 1 minute, 1 minute. Let me rejoin. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, hi Siddharth.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah,
You
can
hear
you
me,
hear me
right?
now?
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Siddharth. So let's start. Let me. My name is Satyajit, and I have around 15 years of experience, and Uh, I majorly work on GenAI, agentic AI, kind of a solution designing part, more into that part. And I've handled a few of the cloud, Azure, AWS, and even I'm working on this Databricks also for quite some time. I did my MBA from IIT Delhi, and then I took up this management task also, and then started few of this, you can say, this training course also. So, and currently I'm working with one of the consulting firm as a AI solution architect. So this is my introduction. So Siddhartha, I just like to know about what made you to learn this Databricks. Can you also give me your introduction so that I can understand
Yes.
that why you
Okay.
want to learn
Yeah.
and
So,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was working for an investment bank for the past 20 plus years. So recently, we are trying to evaluate more on Azure Cloud and Databricks and other kind of ETL tools and reporting side as well. So from there, we are trying to integrate with more on AI and ML. So on that line, I want to curious learning on how Databricks, right, it gets integrated with the AI and especially Gen AI and ML. That's why I come to know about I saw one of your codes adding Instagram, I guess, so based on which I
Yeah.
subscribe for that.
Yeah, see that. So your voice is a bit breaking, but I understood that, So you work as a data engineer or something?
Correct, yeah, data.
Okay, I got it.
You're hearing, right? You're able to hear that. So, yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you, but a bit, problem with the voice, but okay, it's okay. I can understand. So let me just set the context. Yeah, so let me share my screen. Yeah. If it is visible, do let me know. Okay.
okay,
Okay.
yeah,
So,
sure.
yeah, sure. So there are a couple of things, in this Databricks. Okay. So, so I think you have pretty good knowledge of this Databricks, I suppose, and the ETL side.
Yeah,
Okay. So Databricks is, I mean, again, it is more into, you can say, the data platform only. And But they have also, enriched with this machine learning and Gen AI capability as well. So they have added the intelligence part also, so to say. Okay, so Databricks is more into, you can say, the data side, but again, adding this Gen AI machine learning capability. So I would say data plus intelligence is more of a Databricks. Okay, so so whenever you leverage this capability of this intelligence, so intelligence is nothing but I would say this machine learning capability. Okay, so you have this machine learning. 1 minute. This machine learning plus you have this Gen AI capability. Okay. So people use it, Databricks for this designing ETL pipeline, working on data transformations. Okay, so it has this Python and this built on the kind of a Apache Spark. So you can also do kind of a PySpark also coding and all that. So it is one of the finest solutions for designing end-to-end ETL pipeline. Okay, and also transforming the data. Once you have, let's say, data in AWS or Azure, you can have the data and plug it into your Databricks environment and do transformation on top of that. So again, because for quite some time, these Databricks had this data, so they thought to, why not to integrate this intelligence platform kind of apart from this, kind of putting this, creating a dashboard or analysis or anything. So machine learning capability they do have, and also this Gen AI. So today I will be exploring you to this the Gen AI part, so that how you can use it. Because majority of the data you have already in the Databricks. How you can create entire solutions using the entire data Databricks platform only. So if you think of it as a Azure or AWS, where maybe the data is coming from some other the sources, then you plug into Azure Data Factory, you create entire pipeline, and then you use it for generative AI and agentic AI solutions. Okay. So again, let me just connect this dot to from the data. Now you have a data in place. Okay. So how you can connect with the different services. Okay. So once you have this data, right? So I mean, how typically we'll do some kind of Gen AI, Gen AI stuff, right? So you have generative AI. So what is generative AI? Basically, again, if you go with this artificial intelligence, so there is something called artificial intelligence where we are mimicking the human, the way of working, way of thinking. That is something called human intelligence. But when machines start mimicking the behavior of a human, then it becomes a artificial, right? So we call it artificial intelligence, although they have the intelligence, but we call it artificial because again it is driven by the machines, right? But there is also part of this apart from this AI, we have subset that is machine learning. Then you have a deep learning. Then comes this Gen AI, right? So generative AI is something where you generate some new content, right? So I mean, what new content you generate? For example, you already have this data in place. Is there any way? I'm talking in context of Databricks. Let's say our organizations have data that is already there in the transform manner, everything pre-processed, kind of ETL. Using this ETL pipeline, you have created this entire data flow, right? So data is here. So how you can use it, how you can consume it into Gen AI applications, right? For example, you want to create a chatbot. So they need some kind of a data coming from some sources, right? If you have Databricks in place, data is there. So I mean, the Databricks is used for both structured and unstructured data. Okay, so you have this Unity catalog, right? So that is also used for this unstructured data. You just push it into the volumes. Okay, so that data is there. Okay, so how you can leverage this platform so that you can create the solutions addressing your machine learning capabilities and GenAI capabilities both. Okay. So now let me go to this Databricks. Can you see my screen? Databricks is visible, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Can I get your
Yeah.
name, please? Sorry, I didn't get it.
So, sorry.
Can I get your name, please?
I,
Your
I
name.
didn't get I didn't get you.
Oh, sorry. Like I was asking your name.
My name is Satyajit.
Okay. Satyajit, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you see this Databricks, okay, so you have these services and obviously the catalog, if you want to create these pipelines, ETL pipelines, you can create it, okay? So again, these are just more of data engineers task, okay? But the interesting part is here. You also have SQL editors. If you want to do, like to interact with the, data or tables you want to query, right? So you can do these things, and also you transform the data. You can save it back to, here in the Databricks platform itself. Okay. So you have a dashboard. There is Genie space. So I will be showing you that how you can use these capabilities of this Databricks and to create, this GenAI solutions. So if you see this one, there is also AI/ML capabilities. Okay. So if you go with this AI/ML capabilities, so let me just scroll down. So you have this playground
So
AI
you mean
gateway.
you're
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry.
So you will cover the pipelines also, like how to create the ETL pipeline or like the normal job, like
Your voice is
existing pipeline.
breaking.
Those
Yeah.
pipelines also.
Sorry, your voice is
Sorry, I
breaking.
don't have an option now.
Your
So
voice is breaking.
can
You
I
are saying you
message
don't
you?
have no,
I'll
yeah,
message.
yeah, tell me. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Siddharth. Yeah, Siddharth. So okay, I got it. So I mean, this ETL pipeline that you are trying to say, okay. So it's not in the scope of this, okay. Oh, no, no issues, Siddharth. Okay, I understand. Yeah. So 1 minute, let me share my screen again. I understand. Okay. So ETL pipeline is basically not the scope of this one, but again, I'll try to show you that how you can use it. But again, this is not in the scope of this certifications, or so to say in this course. Basically, we are focusing on how you can leverage this Gen AI and agentic AI, right? Because data is already there somewhere, right? So how you can use it, those data, because the data engineering task, the ETL pipeline, everything is task of a data engineers. Okay. But as a, you can say as a Gen AI engineer or AI engineer, how you can leverage those data and create this Gen AI application end to end. That is this course. Okay. But we'll see in this ETL that whether from the small data, how we can use it. Okay. That's not an issue. Okay. So now, coming to this GenAI applications, if you see this one, there is something called playground. Okay. So also in this playground, you'll see there are some tools, and there is something called AI gateway. So these are the some, you can say the LLMs, some of different foundation models are there, and you can use it as an endpoint. Okay. So these are connected through something called AI gateways. Okay. So this will give you an opportunity to interact with these LLMs. LLMs are nothing but kind of a foundation models. Think of it as a chat GPT kind of a thing. Okay. So you can use this endpoint. Okay. And then you start typing something. If you write it, so if it is connected, then it will also give you a response back. So I mean, the model is this one, GTS OS 120B. This is connected through AI gateway, and I have used this endpoint. And through this endpoint, I'm talking to these LLMs. I have made a connections to this endpoint. Okay. So it is saying how I can assist you. Okay. Okay. So this is the way you can experiment whether which LLM to be used. LLM is nothing but you can think of as a experienced human beings. They have a lot of knowledge at a high level. That is LLM. So whenever you ask any questions, they give you a response in a human-like way, right? So it's a human-like a response. Okay, so that is why we call it a LLMs, large language model, but the responses are human-like response. Okay. Now, once you go into this AI gateway, the one that I was talking about, so there are a lot of models. Okay, so there is LLMs, what I was talking about. So LLMs are, a lot of LLMs that are listed here. Okay, lot of LLMs. So Databricks there has their own LLMs. Okay, so if you see which LLM you want to use, all those LLMs are here. Okay, and also the coding agent is there. There is something called MCP. Okay, if you want to have some, external connections, then you can use this MCP. So MCPs are, let's say, there is something called here that I have created, vector search index, Genie space is there. These are the some already pre-built in, Genie space. Okay, I'll also talk about what is Genie space. Okay, so the LLMs MCP is there. So just think of it as your ETL pipeline or data. Just think of it as a unstructured data you have, and you want to build some chatbot. How you can use this entire services of Databricks that you need to think of. So there are two ways. One is how you can solve it through this agentic way. For example, you are working on a chatbot where you need to use this structured data and unstructured data both. How you can use it? Okay, for that it is again from your this catalog. You will use it for this structure and unstructured data both, right? So you'll have something tables and you can use it. For example, I have created this AI agent catalog and I have this chatbot, and there is a table. Okay, and there is something called volume. Okay, so some document is there. Okay, volume is a document. So this preclinical Claude code something is there. So this is stored in the volume. Okay, this is already stored in somewhere in volume, and the table is something which is in a structured format. Okay, so I mean the both you can leverage it. Okay, and I mean again these will serve as an input to your GenAI models. Okay, for example, again, let me just give you a high level. For example, you have this data source. Okay, so this is a data source. Okay, this is again a data source and something which are in the Databricks, and you want to connect it with GenAI, right? GenAI. How? And then you will have something called inferencing task. Okay, so you are asking some questions. Okay, so data is connected to your Databricks, let's say. We'll use this, let's say for time being. Let me use it. Okay. So this is connected to your GenAI. Okay. And people are asking some questions, let's say. So we are asking some question to LLM. Okay. So it will give you a reply. The response you will get it. Okay. Some responses you will get. Okay. Then you'll get some response here. Okay. So typically, if you see at a high level, I'm trying to give you a kind of insights. Okay. So, okay, no issues. Okay. So data source, again, it is sort of that whatever you have in this structure and unstructured in Databricks, you can also create ETL pipeline. For example, you have some incremental data. Let's say every 7 days, if you are adding some data, so you use this incremental load. That is why ETL pipeline will work much better. And also you have some unstructured data, right? So both can serve as a data source. You can use it as a GenAI where you will use this LLM endpoint and this user will ask questions and you will get a response. So at a high level, what you are trying to implement in Databricks is this one. So also there is something called agents. If you have a two data sources, if you want your agent to call only a structured one, if your question is related to a structured format, right? So you will call some agents. Okay. Again, let me switch to Databricks. Let me switch to Databricks. Where is Databricks? So you have Databricks, okay? So as I already told you, so in the volume, there is some documents, okay? So now let me go to Genius space, okay? There is something called Genius space. So let me go to Genius space. If I go to Genius space, okay? And I'm telling, I'll create this new, okay? And there is something called AI agent catalog, okay? I've created, there is something called chatbot. And let's say agent knowledge base, and let me create it. Okay. So it is connecting to some of the data sources. Okay. So let's say if there are some tables, if you see there is a data, okay, it is connected to this knowledge base, some instructions if you want to pass. So let's say example MCP stand for, my company abbreviation something. If you want to add, you can add it. Okay. So these are the some commentary you will get. And let's say this is agent. Okay. So ask any questions. So this is what you can pass it on to this Genius space. Okay. So let's say if they are giving us some response or not. So it will start thinking. It is connected to this, workspace ID is there. Okay. And the resources and everything it will give you. Okay. So it takes some time. Okay. To give you some responses. Okay. For example, there is a one table available in database. Okay, knowledge base, AI agent chatbot. This is the schema. Okay, they are talking about and giving you informations of this table has this ID questions and answers. And the content is this one 10 records question answer pair is there. Okay, and connection is this is a standard table with no foreign key. Okay, it functions as a simple knowledge base repository and FAQ style content. Okay. So this has given you answers in a human-like response, okay, connecting to this your database schema, okay. So there would be a issue in your organizations, or maybe if you're working on any use cases where you need to have a data connected to LLMs, and whenever end user asks some questions, they give us informations extracting from the table. It is like a text to SQL format. So internally, what they are doing, they are converting your prompt into SQL format, and then it is fetching from this schema. This table schema. It is coming from and has this in stored in this database called knowledge base. Okay, so this is one way you can create. You can say the quick POC, and you can show that the if you use this Databricks connected to your structured format of the data, how your the chatbot will behave. So this is one way of implementing the Databricks as a Gen AI platform, and also you can use this agentic AI. Okay, so I mean this is how you can do that. Second one is there is something called experiment. This is part of machine learning only. So for example, Gen AI apps and agent, build and generative AI applications and agent, you can click it. Okay. And if you want to have the data from the Unity catalog, you can select it. Okay. And you can put the name. Okay. So this is how you can provision it. If you have some experiment, you can do that. Okay. This is the one part. Second one, if you want to build some forecasting task related to machine learning, for example, you have some data, you want to select it. For example, I have some data in a structured format, let's say in the let's say in catalog. Catalog will not have, but again, some other sources like information schema is there. Okay. Some, let's say in catalog, I'm saying confirm. Okay. So this will have this, let's say in the training data is there. Okay. I have selected it. I'll select the column. I'll select the frequency of how I want to be refreshed or something. Okay. Forecasted. And I want how many days I want to forecast in the future. Then the target column. If you know, there is something called machine learning source and target. You can select it from your data, whatever you have entered. And then, you can do this something called a start training. Okay. So you'll have the model and the data will be trained. Machine learning model will be trained. So this is a forecasting model. Let's say you want to forecast something in your organization called sales forecast. Okay. And you have a huge pile of data. And on top of that, you want to do this. Also, there are something called, the trading. If you have data in time series data. So forecasting is basically used whenever you have a time series data. Okay. So the denominator is the time. If you have a time driven data, you can use this forecasting model. Okay. So this is the experiment one. Second, and let me go back, cancel it. And that is something called custom model. For example, if you want to work on, you have worked on, let's say in your local, you have created some deep learning algorithms. Okay. So you can use it, name the experiment, and there is a location of artifacts. So whatever data you have, let's say whatever model you have trained in, you can specify it and place it here. Okay. So it will create kind of something, it is a part of MLflow. MLflow is kind of a experiment tracking how model is behaving. It's like operationalizing the model. Okay. So this is the few, you can say, the broad task that you can leverage as a, you can say, kind of an AI ML domain inside this Databricks. So data is there, already data is there. How you can leverage those data to create machine learning, generative AI and agentic AI applications. So again, so this is more of, this certification, or you can say uh, course is more oriented towards this GenAI and agentic AI. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Any
Uh,
questions?
and you this one, right? Agentic AI and Gen AI are both different. Like, what is the
Yeah,
difference between them? So,
yeah,
what is the difference?
yeah. So GenAI and agentic AI, Siddharth, is the difference is GenAI create a new content. For example, at a, the smallest example would be, let's say, if you are saying to summarize some documents to ChatGPT. So this is kind of a GenAI task, right? If you are saying to give me some, a response, right? So something, a new content, it's generating a new content. So GenAI is more of generating a new content from whatever pre-trained model has, and also looking at your own knowledge base. So in the Databricks side here, what I have shown had our own knowledge base. So something, ingested in a volume has something called a knowledge base. So based on the knowledge base also, it is giving us a new response, a new content generated. Okay. So this is GenAI. Agentic AI is something which takes some actions when they start acting on your behalf, is agentic AI, agents. Okay. So that is the difference. Okay, Siddharth?
So, in Databricks, currently you explained, right, in Databricks. So, what
Hmm.
all are Gen AI and what are agentic AI here?
Yeah. In the Databricks, basically, the one diagram that I was explaining in raw.io is a part of GenAI. Okay. It will have a connection. It will establish a connection with the knowledge base. Knowledge base means something is there in a Unity catalog. Something it is in a structured table, something is there in ETL pipeline, right? So whenever it takes as an input in R, through when we pass it through this LLM, there is also something called vector database or vectorizations. Okay. So I mean that would be the part of GenAI here in Databricks. But in agents, let me show you. In agents, so once you go into this, let's say in a Genie space, let me go. So something called chatbot is already built. Okay. So if you see, there is something called agents. Okay. So this agent is there. Okay. So, I mean, what agent does is multi-step reasoning to answer your questions. Okay. So this is simple agent. But when it comes to agentic, it will connect with external sources. For example, there is something called MCP that I was just showing you. It's a part of agentic AI. Okay. Got it, Siddharth?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got it.
Yeah, so that is the difference. So when you generate GenAI is simple one. think of it as a chat GPT. But agentic is something, just think of it something which you have given some command and it is acting on your web. Means there is, if there is some action, okay? So it will be part of agentic.
Okay. Okay.
Got it?
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so that any other question?
Um, so so there is one more concept, right? The agent bricks and something like the agent breaks that automatically we can use it and develop the agent in more declarative manner. And there is a concept called apps, right? Now, Databricks apps, so you can develop apps on top of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
agents itself. So those
yeah.
topics are like more relevant or how it is.
Yeah, actually, for this again, that for that you required some subscriptions with Databricks platform. So the app service is there again. Yeah, one if you want to deploy or if you have some custom applications, GenAI built, so that you can leverage it. Okay, so yeah, that is there. But here in this
Okay.
limited subscriptions, you do not have that activated. Okay, but if you have this GenAI, Agentic AI, MCP, these basic things, if you know it, that services, other services, you can easily connect to. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think this helps Surjit. Surjit, right? Your name, Surjit.
Yeah, Satyajit.
Satyajit. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I think you covered everything, right? You shared me the document also, right? So I'll go through them and I will get back to you like when. So you'll be conducting weekend sessions, right? Usually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will be conducting the session. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'll update you, Satyajit.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. You update to this GenAI ML team. Okay. So then we will see. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure, sure.
So yeah,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. This helps a lot.
Yeah, yeah, Siddharth. Okay. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Okay, bye bye.